Princess Eugenie's closest friends have firmly rejected claims of a permanent break from her father Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. The denials come amid persistent speculation about strained family ties. Following Andrew's relocation to the modest Marsh Farm property on the Sandringham estate, multiple tabloid reports suggested Eugenie and her sister Beatrice had issued an ultimatum leading to a complete emotional cutoff. Sources close to Eugenie insist those stories are exaggerated and misleading. Eugenie has never cut her father off permanently, one longtime friend told the press. She loves him deeply and continues to maintain regular contact. The friend emphasized that any perceived distance is practical rather than punitive. It's about setting healthy boundaries for her own family, not abandonment. Eugenie, now 34, shares 2 young sons with husband Jack Brooksbank. August Philip Hawke is 4 years old and Ernest George Ronnie is 2. The family relocated to a quiet coastal area in Portugal in 2022. Seeking greater privacy and a calmer environment for the boys. Living outside the United Kingdom has naturally reduced the frequency of visits to her father at his new Norfolk residence. Marsh Farm itself is small and tightly secured compared with Royal Lodge. Andrew has imposed strict visitor protocols including pre-approval and screening. Eugenie respects those rules and coordinates visits in advance when possible. She travels to Sandringham periodically with Jack and the children. Friends describe these meetings as warm, affectionate, and focused on the grandchildren. August and Ernest adore their grandfather, one source said. He reads to them, plays simple games, and clearly treasures their time together. The princess has never publicly criticized her father. Despite the intense media scrutiny surrounding his past controversies, she maintains a loyal, supportive stance while protecting her own household. Her public statements remain positive or completely neutral on family matters. Beatrice has taken a similar approach with her daughter Sienna and newborn son. Both sisters prioritize shielding their children from unnecessary attention. They rarely bring the little ones to large royal gatherings, and avoid formal titles or protocol in everyday life. This conscious choice has sometimes been misinterpreted as family estrangement. In reality, it reflects modern parenting values within a traditional institution. Eugenie's friends stress that love for Andrew remains constant. The distance is logistical and emotional boundary-driven, not rejection. She speaks to him regularly by phone and video calls, a confidant confirmed. Cards, letters, small gifts, and family photographs are exchanged often. The princess has always been particularly close to her father. She was his most vocal public defender during the most difficult years. Even after Andrew stepped back from royal duties in 2019, Eugenie continued attending events with him when appropriate. Her wedding in 2018 at St. George Chapel, Windsor, featured Andrew proudly walking her down the aisle. That image of father and daughter remains one of the most cherished royal moments from that decade, despite later controversies. Current speculation about a permanent break intensified after Andrew's move. Reports suggested the sisters had demanded clearer separation to protect their own reputations and their children's privacy. Eugenie's inner circle calls those claims overblown and inaccurate. They simply asked for more defined boundaries, the friend explained. That is very different from cutting someone off forever. The princess continues her charitable work quietly and effectively. She focuses on anti-slavery initiatives, arts organizations, and children's welfare. Her public appearances remain graceful, composed, and dignified. She never addresses family tensions directly, preferring privacy. Jack Brooksbank supports his wife fully in maintaining that stance. The couple balances parenting, professional commitments, and family obligations. Their Portuguese home provides a peaceful retreat from media pressure. The boys attend local preschools and enjoy ordinary childhood routines. Eugenie and Jack make regular trips back to the United Kingdom. For family birthdays, holidays, and occasional royal events. When they visit Andrew at Marsh Farm, they follow all security protocols. The grandchildren are welcomed warmly and spend quality time together. These moments, though private, are described as loving and genuine. Andrew reads stories, plays gentle games, and shows genuine affection. The sisters' decision to limit titles and formal protocol gives their children freedom from early public expectation. Sienna, August, and Ernest are known simply by their first names. In schools, playgroups, and everyday interactions. This approach aligns with modern parenting trends among younger royals. Prince William and Catherine have adopted similarly protective strategies. Beatrice and Eugenie have taken independence one step further. By living outside traditional palace structures, their children grow up knowing love, security, and ordinary joys first. Royal heritage remains part of their story but not the defining element. Friends say both princesses are content with their choices. They feel they have found the right balance for their families. The speculation about permanent estrangement does not reflect the reality they live every day. Eugenie continues to love and support her father, while protecting her own household from unnecessary complications. That balance requires careful navigation, but she manages it with grace. The Marsh Farm chapter may be Andrew's current reality, but it does not sever the emotional bonds with his daughters. Beatrice and Eugenie remain loyal, loving, and present in the ways that matter most to their father. The idea of a permanent break is simply not accurate. It is a narrative driven by headlines rather than facts. The sisters continue raising their children their way, with warmth, privacy, and thoughtful independence. They avoid unnecessary complications while preserving what truly counts. Love, loyalty, and family connection endure, even when public circumstances change. Princess Eugenie's friends are clear and consistent. There is no permanent break from Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. There is only careful, thoughtful, modern family life, shaped by two caring mothers who know what matters most. Their children will grow up secure, loved, and free to define themselves beyond any title or headline. That is the real story behind the headlines, and it is far more positive than many reports suggest. Beatrice and Eugenie are not cutting ties. They are simply protecting the next generation, while honoring the ties that still bind them to their father. In that quiet determination lies their greatest strength. No drama, no public rupture, no dramatic declarations. Just two princesses raising their children with love, and setting boundaries that allow everyone to breathe more easily. The Andrew situation remains complex and unresolved. But the bond between father and daughters has not been permanently severed. Eugenie's friends reject those claims unequivocally. They see a family navigating difficult waters with care. And in that careful navigation, they find a way forward that honors everyone involved. The children remain at the heart of every decision. Their well-being comes first always and without compromise. Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie are raising the next generation their way. And that way includes love for their father. Even when public circumstances make that love more private. The story is not one of permanent break. It is one of quiet loyalty, careful boundaries, and enduring family affection. That is the truth friends of Princess Eugenie want the world to understand clearly. No dramatic rift, no final severance. Just two daughters protecting their children, while still holding space for their father. That balance is not always easy, but it is the path they have chosen. And in choosing it they show both strength and grace. The royal headache surrounding Andrew continues. Yet the daughter's response is measured, thoughtful and loving. They avoid complications where possible, while preserving the relationships that matter most. Their children will grow up knowing they are loved, without the weight of titles or public expectation. That freedom is the greatest gift they can give. Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie are writing a new chapter of royal motherhood. It is quieter, more private and more human. And it includes their father, even when the headlines suggest otherwise. Friends are adamant, there is no permanent break. There is only careful, thoughtful, modern family life. That is the reality behind the speculation. And it is far more hopeful than many realize. The York sisters continue forward with dignity. They protect their children and honor their father. No magic solutions, no dramatic gestures. Just love, boundaries and quiet determination. That is how they navigate the Andrew crisis. That is how they raise their children. And that is why the claims of permanent estrangement simply do not hold up under close examination. Princess Eugenie's friends reject those claims completely. They see a family still connected, still caring, even across difficult distances. The story is not over. It is simply being written in private, with love as the guiding principle. And that love endures, despite every headline to the contrary.